Hello. OK， 大家好 ，OK， 欢迎大家来参加我们第2个 Learn with John 雅思口语直播。我们几分钟之后就开始练习新的就是9月份举办的雅思口语话题。我们今天跟上一次差不多一样，我们开始训练第1部分，然后做一点第2部分，最后第3部分。但是今天开始之前，我要谈论一件事情，那就是如何学习我在这些课提到的应该不是那个，就是这里，就是如何学习我在这些课提到的好用的表述。所以在每一节课我都会我会自己提出一些如果要谈论某一个话题可以用的英语表述，然后在听你们回答这些问题的时候，我也偶尔会特别提出那个学生说的这个表述很标准的，英语母语人应该会用，然后我会推荐其他学生都学习那个表述，但是很多人都不知道怎么做，很多人都不知道如何把那个在这样的直播课或者在其他地方看到的或者听到的好用英语表述放进自己的长期记忆里，所以他们不知道如何学习那些新的表述。所以那就是第一个我要问大家的问题，就是如果我今天提出一个你应该学会的英语表述，那怎么学会？怎么把那一个句子或者那一个单词或者那一个词组，如何把它放进你的长期注意力？How do you put that vocabulary into your long-term memory？ 所以有没有人知道我会推荐什么方法？如果知道的话，就可以发消息。如果你已经上了我 cctalk 的视频课程，比如快速学会外语那个课程或者 9 vocabulary 那个课程，你应该知道如何做。我看有一些人已经回答，然后周一旺就说 Anki， 对，周一是对的，就是 Anki 或者其他类似的 SRS 系统 ，SRS 就是 Space Repetition System， 然后 Space Repetition System 的意思就是间隔性重复系统。如果你用类似 Anki 的软件，你可以很轻松的把所有我提出的这些表述，或者你的其他英语老师提出的表述学会，或者你在看电影的时候看到的好用表述，或者在阅读的时候读到的好用表述，你可以用 Anki 把它们学会。因为如果不用 Anki 或者不用任何类型的系统，大部分这些表述你都会忘记，很快就会忘记。所以我真的推荐在今天的课的过程中，然后在接下来的其他直播的过程中，每一次你看到或者听到一个你自己要学会的表述，应该把它先记录一下，然后以后把它放进 Anki 或者类似 Anki 的其他 SRS 间隔性重复系统。OK， 所以那是第一个问题。然后第二个问题就是 Should you start using a new phrase you just learned immediately？ 意思就是比如说如果你从今天的课学习比如说八个新的英语词组，然后我说 OK， 这些词组都很好用，每个学生都应该知道如何用这些词组。你应该就是明天开始用那些词组嘛？然后 因为很多人也不理解这一件事情，这个会取决于你的英语水平。所以如果你英语水平已经很高，如果你已经经常跟英语母语人聊天，然后跟他们说话的时候，你说话很流利，你听懂他们说的每一句话，那如果你今天听到一个新的表述，然后明天尝试用那个表述，你很可能会用的准确。但是如果英语水平还是很低的话，我今天可以教你很多新的英语表述，然后我可以告诉你 ，OK， 这一句话在中文是这么意思，是这个意思，然后你也许会理解哪一句话的意思。但是你说话的时候，如果尝试用那个表述，不一定会用的准确。所以，很多我有提供的好用表述，你不一定要马上就开始用，但是你应该记录，你应该学习那些表述，然后随着你的英语学习，所以你应该每天都听很多英语，每天都看很多英语，然后如果你每天花费足够的时间听和看英语，我提出的这些表述，你会经常看到和听到，然后过了不久之后，你就会习惯到哪些表述，然后你说话的时候，你需要哪些表述，他们就会自动的出来，然后你会用的准确。所以我的重点就是在这一些直播课，我要谈论很多好用的英语表达，你要尽量把它们都学会，但是你不一定要一学习就开始用，你不一定就是第二天开始用到那些表述，因为很多时候你尝试用的话，如果你的英语水平不高，你就会错用，你会在不合适的场合用，或者你会有发音错，或者会有语法错。比如说我在上一个直播都谈论了the first thing that popped into my mind or the first thing that pops into my mind， 我说了，几乎所有尝试用那个表达的学生都犯错，他们都说类似 the first thing popped to my mind or the first thing popped into my mind。那些人就是在勉强用他们不习惯用的表述，他们很少听到过的表述，但是他们就是特别为了考雅思学习那个表述，然后尝试用，但是都用错了。OK， 所以我们马上就可以开始。And we're going to start with part 1 as usual. So this time, different from the last time, I'm not just going to let the first person who puts up their hand answer the question. I'm going to do it randomly. So it doesn't matter if you put up your hand late or you put up your hand early, you'll still have a random chance of being selected, okay? I'm not going to tell you what our first topic is. I want to keep it a secret for the first student, for the first brave student, and that makes it more natural, more like the exam. Okay, so we've already got 2 people with their hands up. So if anybody else wants to try answering part 1, put your hand up. Oh, we got lots of people now. Okay, so I'm gonna right. I'll wait for everybody. Okay, we've got lots of people. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick a random number. I'll look at my phone, see what number comes up on my phone. Okay, I got one. All right. So I'm turning on the mic of number 10. So if you're number 10, you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Very good. Hello. Hi. Nice
Hi,
to talk
how
to you.
are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you. What's your name?
You can call me Giselle.
What's your name? Sorry.
Yeah. Giselle.
Giselle. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good, Giselle. Okay, Giselle. So it's part 1, and your topic is clothes, all about clothes. So Giselle, what color of clothes do you like best?
I generally prefer black and white, but sometimes I go for something bright like yellow or blue because they can enlighten my mood sometimes.
Why?
Well, sometimes if I feel if sometimes I feel not up to it, then I wouldn't go for a typical gray or neutral color. If I try something, yellow, like it reminds me of the sunshine, so it can brings
Okay.
me.
Thank you.
It can.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. And what kind of clothes do you never wear?
I have no idea about that because I generally dress in a very casual way, and I think I might not wear bikini, because it's not a typical outfit, and I'm not confident enough to wear that because I don't do a lot of exercise.
Mm-hmm. What kind of clothes do you usually wear?
In summer, I wear a lot of t-shirts and summer dresses. When it comes to winter, I chose winter coat or jacket and denim, of course. That's one of my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And last question. Do you wear the same type of clothes on weekdays and on weekends?
It depends on the occasion. Let me think about it. That usually I wear, because I'm working now, and I wear quite something professional during the work day. But on weekends, I might wear something more, fit the moods. Sometimes maybe,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Thanks, Giselle. Okay, good
Thank
job.
you.
Well done. All right. Good. Okay, Giselle, good job. Very good pronunciation, pretty good fluency. When you got going, your fluency was good. Sometimes it took you a little while to think of the actual answer, like the content of what you wanted to say. But as soon as you thought of the idea, your fluency was very good as well. And also some good vocabulary, some good use of words. So I want to highlight one thing, which this might seem like a simple thing, but actually a lot of students get this wrong, and you got it right. So I want to just tell everybody about it. So you said you were talking about why you don't wear bikinis, and you said, I don't do a lot of exercise. Okay, that was good. That was perfect, because a lot of students will get this wrong, and they will say, I don't do a lot of exercises, and that's not quite right. The correct expression is, I don't do a lot of exercise. So well done there. So
could you I'm sorry to interrupt. Could you explain the grammar of it? I think I just come it naturally. I don't actually think about why I choose exercise or instead of exercises.
Okay.
When you pointed out,
Okay, I can explain, but there's two. Okay, I'll make 2 points. But the first point is that that's the way it should be, Giselle. So you're saying that you just thought of it naturally and it came out of your mouth naturally. Well, that's perfect. That's the way it should be. You shouldn't be thinking about the grammar and trying to think of the grammar rules while you're talking. You should just be used to listening to a lot of English, reading a lot of English, and you should just your brain should kind of naturally know that that's the right word without you actually consciously thinking about it. So that's the first point. Anyway, to answer your question, so exercises. So it's just like the best way I could explain it is in Chinese you might say 我做很多运动 or 我不做很多运动. Just that idea in English is just exercise, to do exercise, either to exercise or to do exercise. Now to do exercises, that has a different meaning, and that has a few different meanings. For example, if you're talking about like you might be studying a grammar book, and you might have to answer a lot of questions in the grammar book. That's doing exercises. So like in your grammar book, you might have 很多练习题. Those are exercises.
Something like practice.
Also, there is another use of exercises that is related to 运动, but that is like the individual movements. So for example, a pull-up, that's an exercise. A push-up, that's an exercise. And sit-ups, that's an exercise. So all those individual movements are exercises. But if anytime we generally want to say 我去做运动 or 我去锻炼身体, that is just I am going to exercise, or I'm going to do exercise. It's not I'm going to do exercises. Okay? So anyway, that's the reason. It doesn't matter about the reason because you got it right. You were right. I'm going to maybe give a couple of pieces of advice about how you could make your answers better. So at one time you said, enlighten my mood. Enlighten my mood. That's not really a collocation. We can't really say enlighten my mood. Does anybody at home know? How could we say that? How could we say that better? So maybe not enlighten my mood, but something else. So another way to say that. Or do you know, Giselle? Is there another way to say that?
Cheer me up.
Good. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Cheer myself up.
Okay.
Cheer myself up. Yeah. Somebody said brighten my mood. Yeah, that would be better. That is a collocation. It can brighten my mood. But I think cheer myself up is fine. Yeah, that's probably a good one. And then in one of your questions, I think it was a question about what clothes do you usually wear, and you said something about, like, you said denim, of course. And now, so that's not quite appropriate. You can't really say denim, of course, because if we say of course, it's like we're saying, it's anytime, or usually when we say of course in English, it's like we're saying 当然很明显我当然会穿那个. So it's like we're impatient, it's like we're angry or something. So if you're saying denim, of course, I have no idea. I have no idea whether you wear denim or anything else. So it's not appropriate. It's not. I talked about this in the last class. When we use of course in English, it's not always the same as when you use 当然 in Chinese. Sometimes there's differences. So be careful with your use of course, and generally in part 1 of the exam, don't use of course. Don't use the word of course in part 1. Okay. But otherwise, good job, Giselle. Good answers there. Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
So no problem. I'm gonna get another couple of students to answer some of these questions. So I'm just gonna pick a random number again. Okay. So I'm gonna go for number 8.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I won't ask you all of these questions, but I'll ask you a couple of them. All right. What's your name, by the way? Sorry. What's your name?
My name is Rebecca.
Rebecca. Cool. Okay, Rebecca. What color of clothes do you like best?
Suppose maybe it's blue, because I think blue is a symbol of sky, and when I look at it, it can let me feel happy. And also, my favorite band symbol color is blue, so I like it.
What kind of clothes do you never wear?
Actually, I think this question a little extreme, but for me now, I think maybe I don't wear like police costume because I don't have some qualification. So I think I suppose not.
Okay. And last question. What kind of clothes do you usually wear?
And now I'm still, so I usually like to wear some casual like t-shirt and jeans, and I can it's make me very, very comfortable, so I like wear it.
Cool. Okay. Thanks, Rebecca. Very good. Okay. So good, logical, sensible answers to those questions, Rebecca. Well done. Well done in the second question. So in the second question, that was about what clothes you never wear. Now, you started off, you said this question is a little extreme. No, not extreme. I don't know what word you were looking for there, but we can't really say it was an extreme question. You might say this question is a little difficult or unusual or something, but not extreme. But the good thing is eventually you did give an answer. So you said how you wouldn't wear a police uniform. That was good. Because it's true. It's true. You probably would not wear a police uniform. So so it's good to actually, even if the question seems unusual or you can't think of anything immediately, it's better to keep going and then actually give a good specific example of something that you would never wear. And you did that well. Well done. Just a couple of little grammar things so maybe just one actually. So in the last answer, you said, I can't remember what you were talking about, but you said, it's make me. It's make me. That should be, so not it's make me, Rebecca. It should be,
It
what?
It makes.
It makes what?
What? Sorry, it makes me. Oh.
It makes me. It makes me. Okay, yeah, that's it. So it's not it's make me. It's it makes me. Okay, thanks, Rebecca. Well done. Good job. Cool. Okay, let's see. I think I've cancelled everybody. So 如果你还要回答的话，可以再举手。Okay, we've got a new bunch of people. So I'll get one more on this topic. And I'm going to pick a random number again. Okay, number 2 this time. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, Joy. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hello.
I can hear you. Yeah, what's your name?
There we go. Oh, you can call me Willie.
Willie. Okay.
Willie.
Nice. Say that one more time.
Willie.
Okay,
Willie.
that sounds good. Okay, Willie. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So again, what color of clothes do you like best?
Black. I think black, and black. Black is my favorite color, of course.
Why?
Because I major physics. I know the black color is the best to spread the thermals. Like in most of culture, just like in Africa or in India, that in that situation, the people always wear black because they need to spread their thermal and pretend the sunshine. So I think black color is pretty useful in most of situations.
What kind of clothes do you usually wear?
Usually wear black and white. That two color is most usual I wear.
What kind of clothes do you usually wear?
Oh, what kind of? Just like t-shirt and jean. In most of situations, I just wear this kind of clothes. Maybe some in different situation, I will different wear, of course.
Okay. Thanks, Willie. All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. So, Willie, about your first question. So it was okay eventually, but at the start you didn't give enough information. So the question was, what color of clothes do you usually wear? And basically, you just said, I wear black clothes. So you should kind of just say that I wear black clothes, and then give a because, and then immediately go on and give the rest of your answer, give the reason. When you did it, you just talked about how you just said I wear black clothes, but you said it about 5 or 6 times, kind of the same sentence. So just give your immediate answer and then give your reason. That's all you need to do. Okay. let's see, one little thing. So what if I asked you, what do you study, Willie? What do you study?
What do you say? I major physics, you know.
Okay, right. Let me tell you how to. So we can't say I major physics. We can't say that. We can't say I major physics.
Oh.
Does anybody at home know how to say that? How should Willie say that? Not I major physics. There are a couple of ways to say that. Okay, a few people are saying, yeah, I major in, I study. Good, my major is. Yeah, that's probably the best one. So my major is physics. My major is physics. You can also say I study physics, or you can also say I major in physics. Probably the best one is my major is physics. Okay, Willie. Thank you.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
Nice to talk to you. Okay, cool. Right. Talk to you there. Okay. So let's move on to another topic. Sorry. So I've got a bunch of people who are ready. We're going to change the topic, so I'm going to get another student, and this time you're going to have to answer the 4 questions, and I'm not going to tell you what the questions are. So they're new, fresh questions. And so I'm going to pick a number. Okay. Right, number 6.
Oh, hi, John.
Hello, hi. Is your name Ruby?
Yes.
Okay, hi, Ruby. Okay, nice to talk to you. All right. So we've got a new topic for you, Ruby, and your topic is making lists, all about making lists. Question number 1. Do you like to make a shopping list before you go shopping?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, when I go to the shop, I will just look for things for hours. And before that, I have to make a list of food, just drinks, and some other things for the basic life need.
Do you make lists in your work or study?
Well, just today, I make a list of what I should do today about the study time and the rest time, what to do.
Why?
Why? I'm a person who always cannot schedule in time, so I have to do it in advance before the work.
Thank you. Okay. And why do some people not like making lists?
Probably because maybe their work have many change factors, and if they have scheduled all the things, it may be broke down and don't know what to do immediately, so they don't like to do plans.
Thank you. Okay, and last question. Do you prefer to write lists down on paper or to use your phone?
I prefer to write down on the paper, because if I write on it, I can just put in my desk, and every time I just finish one work, I can immediately watch it and go for the second part.
Okay. Thanks, Ruby. Okay, cool. So, Ruby, generally, good job with your first 2 answers. So your first 2 answers were pretty good, quite logical, not many mistakes. I can understand everything you were saying. And the last question there, I think we should try that one again, because I'm not sure. I know you said paper, but you said you can put it in your bag, but I didn't quite follow you 100%. Let's try that last question one more time, okay? So the question was, do you prefer to write lists down on paper or use your phone?
I prefer to write down on the paper, since when I just write down on the paper, I can put it on my desk, in my desk, and every time I finish a part, I will just turn to the list and do my second part, go on.
Okay. Right. I think when you're you're saying when I finish a part, I guess you mean when I finish a task, probably, isn't it?
No, I just mean desk. 桌子。
Every time when I finish a desk.
No. I mean every time I finish a part, I will just turn to the list.
Okay, but we can't say finish a part. That doesn't really make sense in this context. So, do you mean finish a task? 所以把一件事情做完，或者把一个任务做完。Is that what you mean? I don't understand. What do you mean? Finish a part. What do you mean? Finish.
Section.
Okay. A section of what? A section of what?
A section of my plan.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. So, yeah, you can have a section of a plan, but here, let's see. Yeah, here we're talking about lists. You can't really have a section of a list or a part of a list. So I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure the best thing for you to say is every time I finish a task, I move on, I can see what the next task is. So probably not finish a part, but finish a task would be the best way to say that. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So that was the main point, Ruby. So very good. So pretty good answers to questions 1 and 2, and just maybe question 4 not so clear, but well done for the first 2 answers. All right. Thank you, Ruby. Let's get another 1 or 2 people. So again, I'll look for a random number. Okay. I'll go for number 2 again.
Hi, John.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, and you can call me Cindy.
What's your name?
Cindy.
Hi, Cindy. Okay. Cool. Nice to talk to you, Cindy. All right. Cindy, do you like to make a shopping list before you go shopping?
No, actually, I never do that. I prefer to buy things randomly because it all depends on my mood. Sometimes I just window shopping there, and so I'll buy anything that just appears in front of me.
Okay. Do you make lists in your work or study?
Yeah, I do that, and I do that quite often because I think it's really a very efficient way to help me organize my tasks and try to finish things on time. So yeah, I do that.
Cool. Why do some people not like making lists?
I'm not sure about that. Probably some people just don't have that habit, and they find it too troublesome to make some list for things to do. And there's always something will happen, and we can't expect that. So probably that's the reason why some people, prefer not to make some list.
Very good. Okay, good job, Cindy. Really good. So what was great about your answers is your rate of errors was very low. So you produced a lot of sentences that didn't have any errors. So very good grammar, and you just said a lot of sentences that were grammatically correct. So well done. And your answers were quite clear, and they were maybe a little bit short, but not too short. So overall, very good answers. The only one I'm going to give you some advice on is your answer to question number 1. So the question was, do you like to make a shopping list before you go shopping? And you talked about window shopping, about going window shopping. There's a bit of a logical problem there, because when people go window shopping, Cindy, what kind of things are they looking at? What kind of things are they thinking about buying when they go window shopping?
Well, actually, I think when I mention window shopping, it means that I don't want to buy anything. I just, shop for fun, to relax.
And what kind of things do people look at when they go window shopping then?
Probably dress or clothes and jewelries or food, anything. Usually clothes. You're right. Usually clothes, and then maybe some electronic items or whatever. The things that you usually see in the window of big shops on the streets in the center of towns. But when we talk about making a shopping list, what kinds of things do people usually put on a shopping list? Some specific items.
For example, of course, specific items.
Like
for example.
if I'm going to shop in the supermarket, probably I know that I'm going to add some vegetables, drinks, or
Yeah, exactly. You're talking about food, okay? You're talking about food. So here we're talking about two different kinds of shopping, okay? And I've been listening to a lot of people answer this question on Yasse Ge, and a lot of people are making the same mistake. They're talking about like going, like they're talking about, 跟朋友一起去逛街，所以他们跟朋友一起去逛街的时候，他们也许会买一些衣服或者买一些其他东西，但是我们不会为了那样的，我们不会逛街的时候或者去买衣服的时候，或者就是约朋友一起出去买特别的东西的时候，做一个 shopping list。shopping list， 那就是我们去买吃的东西才会做的。一般来说，我们就是去超市，然后你刚刚说的就是 supermarket， 那很关键。所以我们去超市的时候，就会做 shopping list。如果我们去商场，去衣服店，我们不会做一个 shopping list。So that was the only kind of thing I need to tell you about, Cindy, is a shopping list is really just for the supermarket. People just make a shopping list for the supermarket. So if you're talking about going window shopping or going buying clothes or something like that, that's not really related to a shopping list.
Mm-hmm.
Is that clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. No problem. All right. Okay. So, yeah, I heard a lot of people on Yasse Ge also making the same kind of mistake. But otherwise, excellent level of English, Cindy. Excellent grammar. Very good answers overall. Well done. Okay. Let's do one more here. I'm going to choose another random number. Number 7.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Is your name Ray?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, fantastic. Okay, Ray. Do you like to make a shopping list before you go shopping?
Well, generally, yes. Because, before going to the supermarket, I usually need to make a list. Because whenever I go to supermarket, there's a lot of things that I need to buy. Because in my family, we usually only go to supermarket like about once a week. So we need to buy a lot of food, including vegetables, meat, and etc. So we usually make a list.
Cool. And why do some people not like making lists?
Well, I think maybe because they think it's not necessary to make a list. Things just happened. Something that just happened unexpectedly. So sometimes you just can not expect what will happen next. So maybe they don't prefer make a list because they don't know what will happen in the future.
Okay, and last question. Do you prefer to write lists down on paper or use your phone?
Well, I prefer to make a list on my phone because there's a lot of functions on my phones. For example, you could take your plans one by one. I think it's pretty convenient for me to make lists on my phone, but if I write it on a paper, I could easily lose it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ray. Excellent,
thank you.
Excellent. Really good. Okay. So a bit like Cindy, so just kind of like Cindy in the last person we spoke to, very good sentences. So you were making a lot of sentences there that didn't have any mistake, and some other sentences just had maybe one little mistake. So overall, your level of grammar was excellent, very good. Also, you spoke very fluently and naturally. It seemed like this was easy, not a challenge for you at all. So well done. I'm just gonna give you one or two pieces of advice. Just let's see, one pronunciation thing. 蔬菜怎么说？蔬菜。
Vegetables.
Good, you got it right there. Yeah, earlier you kind of said vegetables, but that is right. So yeah, vegetables. So just be
okay.
that V sound is a little bit difficult for some people, but you can do it. Just sometimes
maybe when
Okay.
you're kind of speaking off the cuff and speaking quickly, you're not producing the V sound a little bit. And one last, so let's see. You said some things just happened unexpectedly, and you got the word out eventually. Well done, you got that word unexpectedly. So I know it took a while to like get down to your mouth, but you got it out. So well done. So it should, some things just happen unexpectedly. That's good. And does anybody know another word she could have said? So what Ray said there was great. Some things happen unexpectedly. But if she couldn't think of the word unexpectedly, what's another word Ray could have used? Does anybody know? So 她可以说 some things happen unexpectedly. 她也可以说什么 some things happen. 还有其他的说法吗？ Unpredictable, not so much maybe. Spontaneously, okay, good. Accidentally, good. Okay, these are good. Yeah. So by accident, well done. Yeah, good. So we've got some good. Surprisingly, yep. Yeah, I guess that's good too. Yeah. Okay. Good. And I'm going to give you one more, and that is randomly. Randomly, some things happen randomly. Yeah, that's a very, very commonly used word these days. So that's a good one as well. And the last thing, Ray, one last thing you said, talked about phones or paper, and you said write it on a paper. Write it on a paper. So we can't say write it on a paper. Do you know what we should say?
I don't know.
Anybody know? Alice is right. Yeah, write it on paper or on a piece of paper. Write it on a piece of paper.
A piece of paper.
That kind of paper. Yeah, that kind of paper is uncountable, and so it's write it on a piece of paper, or write it on some paper or something. Okay, but excellent overall answers, Ray. Thank you very much. Okay, no problem. All right. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to try and answer these questions myself so that you guys can hear how a native speaker would answer some part 1 questions. All right, so let me see. I'll just copy them in here. All right, so question number 1. Do you like to make a shopping list before you go shopping? Yes, I do. I almost always make a shopping list before I go shopping, unless I'm just going to a convenience store to buy 2 or 3 little things. But if I'm going to the supermarket, I always make a shopping list, or else I know I'm going to forget something important. Number 2, do you make lists in your work or study? Yes, I make lists in my work and I make lists in my study. I really like making lists, actually. But I try not to make lists that are very long. If I'm making a list of things that I want to get done on a given day, then I'll probably just put 4 or 5 things on the list, because I find that if you put too many things on a to-do list, then it's very stressful and you never get all the things on the to-do list done. Question number 3. Why do some people not like making lists? I guess it might be because some people are just disorganized and they don't like planning or organizing anything. They kind of prefer to live their lives randomly, and they don't like to think about what they want to get done in a day. They just kind of wake up and do what they feel like, and they find making lists kind of boring and restricting. And final question, do you prefer to write lists down on paper or use your phone? So I prefer to use my phone, because if I write it down on paper, that means I've got to take the paper everywhere with me for the whole day. So it's very annoying, whereas I always have my phone with me, so it's a bit handier to just check my phone. The only time I might write a list down on paper is if I want to get a very complicated piece of work done, and I know there are maybe 6 or 7 steps in this piece of work, and I'll write down all the steps on a piece of paper, and I'll keep that piece of paper beside me while I'm doing that work. Okay, those are my answers. 所以我们马上就开始练习第2部分，然后今天我们也有训练2个不同的话题。但是转到第2部分之前，我也要提醒大家，如果你想每一个礼拜跟我一起练习你的雅思口语，然后如果你有我的帮助来提高你的雅思口语分数，你可以来参加我们 Learn with John 我们有一个少班的课，我们也有中班的课，少班只有3个或者4个学生，中班的有6个7个左右，我不太记得，好像有6个到7个。然后我们下个礼拜有开始，然后少班已经还没有订满了，但是几乎订满了。所以如果要参加少班的话，我真的推荐你今天尽可能的早订阅。OK， 然后如果参加少班哪一节课的话，哪样的课的话，你会每个礼拜有2节课，然后在其他你不上课的那些天，你也可以给我发语音消息，然后我会听你的语音消息，然后给你反馈。所以那就是少组课的另外一个优点。Okay, so let's go on and do a little bit of practice on part 2. I'm going to show you the first part 2 topic. Because I want to talk about choosing your idea or finding the idea of what you want to talk about. So here is our first topic. So first part 2 topic, another one of the new September topics that just came out like last week. So the topic is describe an interesting tradition in your country. Describe an interesting tradition in your country. Now, before I get people to prepare their answers, let's think about our ideas about what we can talk about. I went on to Yasaga. I'm not sure if you guys know Yasaga, but it's an app where you can practice your speaking and you can listen to other students who have answered the same question. So I went on there and I listened to 3 or 4 people answering this topic, and they all gave the same answer. They all talked about the same tradition. Does anybody know what tradition they talked about? Can anybody guess what tradition they talked about? What Chinese tradition everybody was discussing when they got this topic? Very good. Everybody's getting it. So yeah, Spring Festival. They were all talking about Spring Festival. So in IELTS, if possible, it's better not to give the same answer that everybody else has given. If possible, it's better to come up with an answer that's a little bit original. It doesn't have to be amazing. You don't have to make up a story. But if you can think of an idea that not everybody else is talking about, that would be better. That would be good. So here, for example, I just thought about some things that you guys could talk about if you got this topic, other than talking about Spring Festival, because your examiner, when you go and do the exam, your examiner is going to be so bored of hearing about Spring Festival and hearing people talk about Spring Festival. So it would be better to come up with some other ideas. So I just sat down and thought about it for like 2 minutes, and I came up with 10 ideas, and I'm going to show you guys. So here are 10 ideas. So you can talk about eating noodles on your birthday. That doesn't happen in other countries really. That's a very Chinese thing. You can talk about wearing on special occasions, women wearing qipao. And there's no real word in English for qipao. So if you wanted to talk about that would be okay. But you would probably have to say something like, I'm going to talk about women wearing qipao. And you might say, and as you probably know, a qipao is a kind of traditional Chinese dress that has a long slit up the side of it, or something like that. So you probably have to just even though you're in IELTS, you probably have to just use the Chinese word and explain what the Chinese word means, give a definition of it, because there isn't really a word that everybody uses in the English language that everybody knows that represents qipao. Okay. That's number 2. You can talk about Kung Fu, you can talk about Qigong. With Kung Fu, be careful, because that's how it's pronounced in English. It's pronounced Kung Fu. Lots of people talk about it in Chinese, but they use the kind of Chinese pronunciation. They'll say Gong Fu or Gong. They'll say something like, kind of a mixture between English and Chinese. So in English, it's Kung Fu. Qigong, traditional Chinese medicine, Taoism, You guys might not know much about Taoism, but it's very interesting old Chinese topic. If you know about it, then that would be an interesting topic to talk about. If you don't know about it, don't worry, choose another topic. Sweeping the graves of your dead relatives and leaving food on their graves, that's obviously a special Chinese tradition as well. Then there's a few related to money, for example, giving children money as gifts. So this happens in lots of countries, but much more so in China. In Western countries, we usually give children toys or other kinds of presents, and sometimes we give them money, but not as much as in China. So that's a kind of Chinese tradition, giving old people money as gifts. So like children giving their grandchildren giving their grandparents money when their grandparents are very old. That's not very common in other countries, so that's definitely a Chinese tradition. And then the whole idea of putting money into red envelopes to give it as a gift, that doesn't really happen in other countries. That's a very Chinese thing. So in Western countries, if you're giving somebody money as a gift, you might put it in a card, like a birthday card. You guys probably know what a birthday card is. You might put the money into the card and put the card into the envelope, but the envelope isn't red. So putting money in red envelopes, that's a very Chinese thing. So there's just 10 ideas. It took me like 2 minutes to think of those 10 ideas. And in the exam, you just need one. You just need one idea. So it'll be better to think of some other idea rather than talking about Spring Festival. Okay. And also, one last thing. If you're the type of person who has trouble thinking of ideas, like a lot of people can think of ideas very quickly when they need them in the writing exam or in the speaking exam, I've got a course about this. So this course, you can see Lynn has just put up the link there. So this course is all about developing your imagination and developing your ability to think of ideas on the spot and to think of ideas when you need to think of them very rapidly. So that course is over there. So it's 120天创意思考训练. So you basically do that course for 120 days, and it just takes 10 minutes or 15 minutes every day, and you can develop pretty good ability to think up of ideas in a short space of time. Okay, so let's get ready to start answering this question. So I'm going to give everybody a minute to prepare for this topic. Okay, yeah, so there it is. So there's our first topic. Describe an interesting tradition in your country. I'm going to give you 1 minute to prepare, so write down some keywords, write down some ideas, and I'll come back in 1 minute. OK， 差不多已经1分钟，所以如果要回答这个话题的话，可以举手。然后你们已经知道，在真正的雅思考试，你要尽量说话2分钟，你应该继续说话2分钟。但是今天因为有很多人，所以我不一定会给每一个人2分钟的时间，我也许只会听到大概1分钟的回答。所以如果准备好的话，可以举手。Okay. We just got one person so far, so so because you're quick and because you're brave, I'm gonna go and ask you. Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Who is this again?
Sherry.
Sherry. Okay. Cool. Okay, Sherry. I haven't talked to you yet. Okay. All right, Sherry. Are you ready? Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. Okay, Sherry, I'd like you to describe an interesting tradition in your country. Remember that you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. Can you start speaking now, please?
Okay. I would like to talk about Moon Festival gathering. You know, every August 15th in lunar calendar, Chinese family members will gather together. I know family gathering is not special, but it gives us another chance to get all family members together besides the biggest festival. And it's in the middle of the year, so we got another chance in this year. And it's not that close to the biggest festival, you know. And I think it's very good because you won't miss your family members so much. And a lot of youngest in Chinese family go to other states to work, and we usually not go home very often. So I think it's a good tradition.
Okay. Thanks, Sherry. All right, so that was just about a minute.
Sorry,
so
I'm so nervous.
No worry, it's okay. In the real exam, you'd have to give some more information. So, so a couple of things. The first point is, what else could you talk about? What are the other things you could talk about? So always remember the question words. So there's 6 or 7 question words: who, what, why, where, when, how, and maybe how much or how many. So, for example, there you didn't say about like what. You didn't say what you would do or what people do on that festival. So you could have talked about, for example, what families usually do when they get together, what kind of food they eat, is there any special kind of food that they eat during that festival? Like, for example, how long of holidays do people take for this? Is it just 1 day of holidays, or whatever? It's usually a long weekend or something like that. So you would have to give a little bit more information. And if you're talking and you can't think of what to say, remember those question words. It's even a good idea to write them down on your paper. Write down the question words: who, what, why, where, when, how. And that will give you a better idea of what you want to say. Just about the name of the festival. What is the festival called, Sherry?
Moon Festival.
Moon Festival. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure about. Yeah, I don't remember that festival. I haven't been. It's been a while since I lived in China, so maybe I just forgot about it.
Festival.
Mooncake. Okay. Right. Okay. There we go. So not Mooncake Festival. It's more Mid-Autumn Festival. I think that's what you're talking about. Mid-Autumn.
Yes.
Yeah. So so you eat mooncakes, but the festival is called Mid-Autumn Festival. Mid-Autumn Festival. All right. Okay. And then one last thing, you said a lot of youngest in Chinese family. A lot of youngest in Chinese family. So not youngest. That's probably not the word there.
Children.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good. Or you could say like the children in Chinese families, or a lot of the children in Chinese families. So even though if you're 25, you're not a child anymore. You're not a child, but you're still the children of your parents. So for example, I'm 37. I'm not a child, but I'm still the child in my family. You know, I'm still my parents' child. So you could say a lot of children in Chinese families go back, or they move away, and then they come back home for Mid-Autumn Festival. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Sherry. Good job. All right. I'm going to pick another person at random. I'm going to get a random number from my phone. The number is number 1. So that is Zoe. Hello, Zoe.
Hi.
Yes. Are you ready?
Yeah, I guess. So
okay, let's go. All right, Zoe. So I'd like you to describe. Okay, just go. It doesn't matter. Just go.
Okay. So I want to talk about the tongue sweeping day. I guess you know that already. The tongue on town sweeping day, we would go back to our hometown, mainly to buy some stuff and make a special meal just for our ancestors. And it's the time of it I can't remember clearly because it's in lunar calendar, and I really suck at this. So every time I just ask my mom when is it, and now I just go back to my village and just go to my ancestor tomb and spread some already cooked meals on that tomb. And we would always burn a kind of incense. In case you don't know that, incense is kind of a stick that has a pleasant smell. We burn it. And another interesting thing is, we would always burn money, not real money, of course. I mean, I don't think that even Bill Gates would do that kind of silly thing. So the money is mainly made of paper, and when you burn it, the magical thing is it would really just fly upon the air. I mean, when I was a kid, I really don't know what it is. So my mom just simply explained that, well, it's because your grandpa, it's because your grandma, they just come and fetch money. And later when I grew up, I understand that it's just physics. It's totally about physics. So when you burn paper density is just about out of the air. So it just, kind of flow in the air and make you feel like it's very magical.
Thank you. Okay. Well done, Zoe.
Okay.
Well done, Zoe. Good job. So
thank you.
Very, very fluent. I'm sure you could continue, but I want to stop you because I want to give another person a chance.
Yeah.
But good job. I know you could continue. So well done. So great job. So some good vocabulary in your answer. You sounded very fluent, and you delivered the answer very competently. And it was a good example. It was a good idea to talk about. Now let's see. So I'm just gonna I want to share with the other people one of the pieces of vocabulary that you used. So you said to burn incense. I think a lot of people won't know that word, and I don't know how to say that in Chinese. Do you know how to say that in Chinese?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna type it right now.
Okay, cool. Right. Okay. So that's to burn incense. So that's a good expression, because it's true. That is what people do. So you said about the money. So you said you burn the money, and you said the money will fly upon the air. So maybe not fly upon. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fly up. Probably fly up into the air. Fly up into the air.
Right.
Okay. I'll write that for everybody. Okay. And just one pronunciation thing. Just this word. So the name of the festival.
Tomb.
That's a bit better. Yeah. I think earlier you were kind of saying Tom or something like that. But it should be like tomb. So it's a very long word. Yeah, tomb.
Okay, tomb. Yeah.
Tomb sweeping festival. Yeah. But overall, excellent answer. Well done, Zoe. Good job. Okay, I'm going to get one more person for this one. No problem.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So, right, I'm going to get number 4. Hello, Julia. Can you hear me? Hello, Julia. We can't hear you.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. Now I can. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Okay, Julia. So I'd like you to describe an interesting tradition in your country. Remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this. Don't worry if I stop you. Can you start speaking now, please?
Sure. I would like to say giving money in which is concealed in red envelopes to children in China. It is quite probably common known that there's a tradition like that. It is in spring festival. Grandpas, grandmas, or aunts, uncles, they give money to children as gifts. This money is enveloped in red packets called 红包 in Chinese. It is quite interesting.
perhaps at the origin of this tradition. As this money, it is like when people give money to their their grandchildren, or give other children, they perhaps want to express their blessings to these children. But now I think it is no longer a good tradition. It is because mostly when take myself as an example. When I was young, when I received the money, my parents immediately take it away, and then they change the envelope. They just alter the envelope and give the money to other children. I don't think so. That's why I don't think it's a good tradition. So it is because when there is no money, that's okay. Okay, yeah, sure.
Thank you. Okay, thanks, Julia. Okay, good job. Well done. So first of all, it was a good idea to talk about. It was a suitable answer, and you expressed your ideas pretty well, and the answer all made sense. And again, you had a good rhythm, like most of the students today. You're able to keep talking and maintain a good rhythm, and you didn't get stuck or you didn't get caught. So well done. A lot of good things. I'm gonna talk about, let's see, maybe one pronunciation thing. So there's a couple of ways to say it, but how would you say hongbao? How would you say that in English?
Red packet.
So no, it's not a red packet. There's another word that you used?
So what's that?
So all right, I'll write it for you. This word.
Red envelope.
Yeah, so that word is envelope. Envelope. Yeah, so it's elope, velope. Envelope. Yeah, good. You got it.
Envelope.
Okay, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, a red envelope. Okay, cool. And then about red packet, no, that's not a word at all. So you can't say red packet. It's just red envelope. That's the best way. Let's see. Another time you said they want to, or the people used to want to express their blessings to their children. Express their blessings to their children. I know what you mean, but that's probably not what a native speaker would say. I guess you could probably say it like this. They give them, you might say, they give them money to wish them well. They give them money to wish them well, but probably we just say they give them money because the children like getting money. You might say that, or so it's different from how we would talk about that is in English is different from how you would talk about that in Chinese. So we definitely wouldn't say give them money to express their blessings to the children. We wouldn't say that in English. We might say give them money to wish them well or something like that. Okay, so that's all for you, Julia. Thank you very much. And I want to, so somebody corrected my spelling as well. Thank you. So that word that I talked about before, it's tomb. So I put in a U there that should not have been there. So it's spelled like this, T-O-M-B. My spelling is terrible. Spelling is always terrible. So never trust my spelling. Okay, if I put a word up here and you think it might not be spelled correctly, always check Google, because don't trust my spelling. It's not very good. All right. So let's change the topic. So we're gonna do another topic, but this time, so this time I think it's a bit of an easier topic, but maybe you don't think it's. I think it's a bit easier, but maybe some people won't agree. So I'm gonna put it in the text box, so you can see it there over in the chat, or over there in the chat. So this topic is describe a film you watched that made you laugh. Describe a film you watched that made you laugh. So again, you've got 1 minute to prepare for this. So your time to prepare starts now. Okay, so that's about a minute. So if you're ready, anybody else wants to put up their hand? I've already got 5 people, but anybody else can put up their hand as well. Okay, so let's see. Pick a random number again. I'm going to go for a number 3. Hello.
Hello, Joe. Good evening. Hope you have a good talk with me.
Yes.
Yeah. Could you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep, I can hear you. Yeah. Is your name DJ, or do you have another name?
My name is JC.
JC. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, JC. So I'd like you to describe a film you watched that made you laugh. Remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
All right.
Yeah, we're waiting, JC. JC, hello.
Yeah.
I think we might have. Yeah. So this is your time to start speaking.
All right.
Okay.
And should I begin now?
Yeah, you can begin.
All right. Okay. And the film I already watched by myself is called Flipped. I don't know why. I don't know whether you have watched it, but actually, at my mind, it was described a love story between a young girl and a young boy. And actually, I've seen it for several times, and the latest time I've seen it is at March of this year. Actually, firstly, the girl, she looked the little boy at her first eye, and then she fall in love with him, and then she began her action to chase the boy. She wanted to be his girlfriend, but at that time the boy felt annoying and uncomfortable, and so he rejected the girl, and also she liked another girl to be pretend his girlfriend. So the girl's heart was hurt by the boy. But actually, the film is not about just the two different, the two children's love story. It's more like about how to deal with the relationship at our teenagers, and how to.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, JC. Yeah. All right. So you kept going well there. I'm sure you could have kept talking. There's a bit of you were talking there for about 1.5 minutes, and there's a bit of a logical problem with what you said. So look at the.
Yeah.
Go on. Yeah, go on. What's the problem? What's the logical problem?
Yeah, I should tell you why the film made me laugh. I should tell you the first time.
Exactly.
Yeah, but at the Chinese mode, we wanna say the result at the last minute. So that's the reason. Yeah, I mean I wanna give you the whole story, and finally, I wanna answer the first question. But maybe that's my my fault. I should tell you at the beginning so that you can know about what I'm gonna talk to say.
Yeah, I think it's better to say it at the beginning, because otherwise the examiner is going to be listening to you talking for like a minute and a half or more, and he's going to be thinking, okay, she doesn't understand this topic. She hasn't understood it. So now, I'm curious. Now I want to know. So why did it make you laugh? Tell me.
Does anyone don't feel love when you see the love stories movie? I mean, the love not funny at my point.
Okay. So, JC, you seem to be confused between two words, right? Or two or three words, right? So, right, we've got laugh. Laugh, smile, and happy. Laugh, smile, and happy. A lot of people are confused between these words, especially.
Okay.
Yeah, they're confused. Like, because
laugh means humorous.
Good. Yes, laugh means humorous. Laugh means humorous. So laugh means like ha ha ha, dash.
Okay. All right. Got it.
Means wei shao. So they're completely different concepts in English. So the film that you were talking about, that film might have made you happy. You might have felt happy watching that film. Well, I don't think you laughed, because it's not a comedy. So this is a huge. There's a huge difference between laughing, the English word for laughing, or laugh, and the English word smile. Whereas in Chinese, there isn't much of a difference between those two concepts. In English, they're completely different concepts. So JC, tell me, what kind of film, what kind of movie should you have talked about?
Comedy. I mean.
A comedy, exactly. You should have talked about a comedy. If it's a film that made you laugh, it has to be a comedy. Unless there's some unusual reason why you laughed at a horror film or something, but generally it should be a comedy.
Okay.
Right. Okay, cool.
Right.
I'll just do one other correction, because it's quite a common mistake. A lot of people make this. So you said I've seen it for many times. So I've seen it for many times. That's not correct. Do you know what's wrong there, JC? Or does anybody at home, if you guys at home know what's wrong, you can type a message.
I've seen
it so what should
many
it be?
Times.
Very good, exactly. I've seen it. Not for, exactly. So we use for when we're talking about an amount of time, not a number of times. So for example, I have, you might say, I have lived in Shenzhen for 4 years. So 4 years is an amount of time. Or I did my homework last night for 2 hours. 2 hours is an amount of time. But if it's a number of times, then it's just I've seen it many times. I have seen it many times. Okay. And I'll write that just so everybody is clear.
All right. Okay, got it. Thanks for your help.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Okay. Right. Let's get one or two more people. So I'm going to go with number 5 now. Hello, can you hear me? I think. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's your name?
Oh, I still don't have an English name. You can call me Lee.
Lee. Okay, cool. All right, Lee. Okay, so I'd like you to talk about a film that you watched that made you laugh. Remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this. Don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please? Can you start speaking now, please?
Very funny animation produced by DreamWorks. I have seen it for
many times I can't remember. It tells a story about a lot of animals. A lion and a hippo and a zebra, they were friends and lived in a wild park in the downtown city. I can't quite remember how the story goes, but it's about adventure. I think the main character, the lion, he's very young and he seeks for I can't quite tell the whole story, but I have to mention there are some really funny characters in this film. There are 3 pigeons or 4 pigeons, I don't remember, but they are really funny and they have got a lot of fun. So the DreamWorks even. I'm sorry. Are you okay? Sorry. I'm in the library and kind of interrupt.
Okay, don't worry. Okay, I'll let you stop talking. Okay. Well, thanks you got through about a minute anyway. So, I'll turn off your microphone before you get kicked out of the library. All right. Okay. So thanks for that, Lee. So I hope you can still hear me. So a couple of corrections. So you made the same mistake as the previous student. So you said, I have seen it for many times. You said, I have seen it for many times, I can't remember. I have seen it for many times, I can't remember. So, right, what you should say there is something like, I have seen it so many times, I don't remember how many. Something like that. I have seen it so many times. Cool. So something like that. I have seen it so many times, I don't remember how many. And one other thing you said, so I think the film you were talking about is Madagascar. I think it's that film, Madagascar. It doesn't. If it's not, it doesn't matter. But you said it's about animals, and you said they were in the downtown city. So not in the downtown city. We can't say that in the downtown city. But I think we all know what Lee meant there. So how can we say that? So not in the downtown city. Does anybody know how should we say that? So basically, it's 在市中心. How do we say that in English? 在市中心. And no, so Alice says rural. No, that's the opposite. That rural is the opposite. Yes, we've got one answer here. So it's city center, in the city center. In the city center. Okay, cool. The downtown area, that's okay. Yeah, you could say in the downtown area. But the best one, the one native speakers would use all the time, is the city center. They were in the city center. Okay, cool. Let's do one more student for this topic. I'm going to pick a random number again, and I'm going to go for number 4. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello.
Hi, okay, cool. What's your name?
Maggie. My name is Maggie.
Cool, Maggie. Okay, so I'd like you to talk about a film that you, a film that made you laugh. Remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, and you start speaking now, please.
Okay. The movie that makes me laugh I'm going to talk about is called The Richest Person of a City. And I have watched it several times. And the first time I watched it is in a movie theater. But after that, I had also watched them online because it's so funny. And it mainly talks about a story of a person who had been living in a poor condition for several years. But after that, suddenly he inherited a fortune from his father, who is going to die. And if he wants to get the money, he has to first spend 1 million in maybe 1 month. I can't remember the exact number. And then he just do some ridiculous things to try to spend all of the money. And that's what not average people will do in their daily life. So that is really funny. And one of the projects he does was to try to give money to people who do exercise, who lose fat. And after that, he actually make himself famous, and he got many money instead of spending that money. So I think the most interesting part of this movie is that he really did something that normal people won't do, because no one will want to spend all of their money, like 1 million in a year, in a month.
Thank you. Okay, thanks, Maggie. Okay, thanks, Maggie. All right, pretty good. So that sounds like a comedy movie. In fact, so is that a Chinese movie?
Yes, 西红柿首富.
Okay, yes. I'm pretty sure it's like I'm pretty sure it's like a copy of an old American movie. There was an old American movie which I think was called Trading Places, in like the 1980s, I think, and it's the same story. But anyway, it's a comedy movie, so it's fine. But just, I think you don't know the English name of the movie, right?
Yes, I don't know the American version.
What you said is not right. It's not the richest person of a city. It might be the richest person in the city or something like that. It might be the richest person in the city. I don't know, but it's something like that. Well done. You said, I have watched it several times. Good. Exactly. Perfect. I have watched it several times. That's how you say that. Well done. And that was right.
Thank you.
So generally, you have a good rhythm to your speech. You can say in that time that you were talking, you really said a lot and you gave a lot of information. So you didn't have any problems with fluency or getting stuck or finishing your sentences or anything. So again, a pretty good level of fluency from you, Maggie, as well. And the answer was all quite logical and appropriate, and I understood the answer very clearly. Let's see, just one grammar thing. So you said he got many money. He got many money. So we can't say many money.
A huge amount of money.
Okay, we could say a huge amount of money. We could say what's the simplest way? Okay, Alice has the answer there. Yeah, a lot of. He got a lot of money. Okay, cool. All right. So thank you very much, Maggie. Good job.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. All right. So let's hear how I would answer this question. I've already recorded myself doing an answer of this question, so I'm going to play the recording for you guys. So in this, I was talking about a film that I saw a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago. I actually don't watch a lot of movies, and I particularly don't watch a lot of comedies. So there aren't many movies that I could talk about, but there is one that I can think of, and that is a movie that I saw a long time ago. I guess it was probably more than 10 years ago. The movie was called Superbad, and it was a hilarious movie. It was really one of the funniest movies that I ever saw. The basic idea of the movie, or the basic plot of the movie, was that there was a group of high school students who were all boys, and they all had... Oh, shit. Sorry, I accidentally turned it off. Yeah, let's see. I'll fast forward again. One of the funniest movies that I ever saw. The basic idea of the movie, or the basic plot of the movie, was that there was a group of high school students who were all boys, and they all had girls who they liked, and they were all virgins, and they were all trying really hard to get laid, basically. So what they needed to do in the movie was to buy some alcohol to take to a house party that somebody was throwing. So the movie just follows them as they went about trying to get the alcohol, and it shows their adventures and misadventures as they tried to buy the alcohol even though they were underage, and they tried to get to the party that they wanted to go to. And the movie was excellent because it was extremely well written. So every 30 seconds or maybe every minute there was another hilarious joke. So I laughed all the way through the whole movie. Another thing that made the movie really good was the acting. So all the actors were fantastic, and a lot of those actors were not famous at that time, but they've gone on to become quite famous since then. One of the actors was a guy called Seth Rogen, and I believe he also wrote the movie. I might be wrong about that, but I think he was one of the writers of the movie. Whoever wrote the movie did an amazing job because there were so many funny jokes in the movie, and so many hilarious things happened in that movie. I think I watched it at least 2 or 3 times, and in fact, I think I'd like to watch it again because it's been a long time since I saw it, and I think if I saw it again, it would still make me laugh today.
Okay, so there was my answer, and I've noted down a few of the phrases that I used in my answer that some of you guys might know and some of you guys won't know. So number 1, I said it was a hilarious movie, a hilarious movie. So hilarious just means very funny. A very funny movie, or a very funny movie is a hilarious movie. So hilarious is just another way to say really funny. Then I talked about the plot of the movie. So the plot is just basically the story of the movie. The story that happened in the movie is the plot. To get laid. I think some of you might know this one. It's basically to have sex. So it's kind of like, but it's different. It's a little bit different. To have sex is basically, common, like 做爱. But to get laid is like, it includes having sex, but it also includes that, like, you had that goal. You had the goal of having sex, and then you succeeded in having sex. So it's like, 你原来要做爱的意图，你有那个计划，你想做爱，然后如果你成功，你就可以说 I got laid, or he got laid, or they got laid, or whatever. So that is to get laid. So it's very much like to have sex, but it's a little bit different because it's more about you have that intention, and it's like a thing you want to achieve. Okay. And the last thing is they did an amazing job. So anytime you want to say 他们做得很好, you can just say they did a good job, or you can, if it was like 他们做得非常好, you can say they did an amazing job. Okay, that's enough for part 2. Let's see. Oh yeah, I see we've got some questions here. So let's see. Julia has some questions. Julia asks, is it so? She's talking about to get laid. She's asking, is it to manage to have sex and succeed? Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Julia. Yeah, well done. And I think she had some more questions up earlier. I'm trying to find them. Oh. I can't find them. Sorry, Julia. I know you asked some questions later. Maybe I'll get Lynn to find those questions for me and then pass them to me because I can't find your questions. Sorry. There's too many messages. Okay, let's move on to part 3. So part 3 is usually the hardest part. Fine. Okay, we've got the question. Somebody has passed it on to me. Yeah. So somebody asked, is a tragedy comedy okay under this topic, the topic of a movie that made you laugh? Yes, a tragedy comedy, that's just a type of comedy. So it's just one type of comedy. So a comedy is something that is a film that is supposed to make you laugh. So yes, a tragedy comedy is fine. That's fine. Okay, so our 2 topics were one about a tradition and one about a film. So let's go back to the topic about a tradition, and I'm going to go through the part 3 questions. So let's see. So I'm looking at the time. Oh well, we've really gone on a long time already. So I'm just going to get 2 students for each part 3. So I'll pick this time number 1. Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi. Okay. Hello. Hi. What's your name?
Oh, Willie again.
Is it Willie again? Is it?
Yeah.
Willie. Okay. Cool. Hi. Hello again, Willie. Okay. Good. So Willie, question number 1: Are Western festivals like Christmas becoming more popular in your country?
Yep. Yes,
Why?
I think so. Because the globalization, the internet, seems like every country gets closer than ever before. Yeah, I think that's the reason why the Western festival get more and more popular in my country.
Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think in general it's a good thing. Because people get closer, can communication more frequently and make more wealth and just have fun, even play some games together. So, but one side, the globalization seem like make some minority group disappeared, just like some minority. I think has not such kind of yeah.
Thanks, Willie. Okay, one more question. Are there differences between how people celebrate festivals in your country now and how people used to celebrate festivals in your country in the past?
Yes. Recently, the way people celebrate the festival do change a lot. Just like in the past, Chinese people really like to play fireworks, that kind of stuff. But recently, for big country, it seems like it's harder to play firework personally. There are some new rule to limit people to continue that kind of activity.
Thanks, Willie.
Yes.
Okay, well done. Okay, thank you. All right, cool. Right. So I want to first of all share a good word that Willie used there. So the word is globalization. Globalization. So well done, Willie. You used that word correctly, and the answer that you gave there for question 1 was quite appropriate and logical.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So globalization, basically, 全球化. And so it's all about different countries, cultures kind of getting more similar to each other. Okay, there's one word that you didn't quite pronounce right, Willie. So that's ethnic. Ethnic groups. So that first word is ethnic. Nick.
Oh,
ethnic.
Yeah. Ethnic.
Good.
Ethnic.
Yeah, that's better. That's better. Yeah, so that's basically 少数民族. And then the last thing, Willie, so you said, you were talking about fireworks and you said how, I think what you meant is fireworks can't be used in big cities, but you said big countries. So I think you meant big cities, right? Not big.
Yeah.
Not big countries. Yeah, big cities. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks, Willie. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
sure.
you. Okay, cool, right. Okay, let's get one more student for this topic. So I'm going to choose number 8.
Hi, John.
Hello, Ruby. Hi, Ruby. Okay, Ruby, let's see. So your first question is, let's start with that last question. So are there many differences between how people celebrate festivals in your country now and how they did so in the past?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, in the past, people were used to just play fireworks, and some people gather together to communicate it, to relax and enjoy the occasion of some party, like just play games. But now people will turn to watch TV shows and play games together. And maybe some in city, they will just go to a tower together to celebrate the time when a new year comes, and they just count 3, 2, 1 to welcome a new year together.
Thanks. Okay. Are there any traditions in your country that you would like to see die out?
Yes, I mean, just like given this question, I just some festival will even just can be when given the problem. I mean, just like some in some place the dragon boats, they will just continue working and they don't eat special things like that. Just go.
Okay, thanks, Ruby. Thanks, Ruby. Okay. So basically, your answer to the first question was pretty good. I think the second question, I'm not sure if you understood it correctly. So the second question was about traditions that you would like to see. So to see die out. To die out means that like a tradition that you would like to see go away. A tradition that you don't like. So I'm not sure if you.
I just thought about festival.
Okay.
And I don't,
okay, don't worry.
I just thought about festival, so I don't have nothing to say.
Okay, yeah, that was a tricky question, but that's what it means. So for a tradition to die out, it just means a tradition to like stop and go away. Okay, I'm just gonna. So your first answer was pretty good, but there's one thing I want to correct, and Willie said the same thing. A lot of people say the same thing, and that is play firework. Play firework or play fireworks. So we can't say that in English. Does anybody know how we should say that in English? Anybody know? So we can't say play firework or play fireworks. What should we say? Oh, somebody's saying set off fireworks. Good. Yeah, set off fireworks. And we could say play with fireworks. Would be okay. So to play with fireworks or to set off fireworks, either of those would be okay. Thank you, Ruby. Okay, I'm going to go on to another topic now. And I'm just going to I got time for 2 more students, and then we got to go. So obviously our topic, so in part 2, we talked about a film. So now we're a funny film. So now we're talking about funny things in general. So I'm going to choose a random number. Number is 2 again. Okay, so Yasmin, is that your name? Yasmin?
Hi.
Hi, Yasmin. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, yes. Hi, okay. So about funny things. Let's see. Why do some adults like to watch cartoons?
Cartoons? Oh, that's a good question. For me, there are some reasons. Firstly, people who are adults, they are occupied with a busy life. I'm so sorry because I'm a French major, so I'm a little bit nervous. Because they are very occupied with their daily work, and after the work, they want to watch some things which could remind them of their sweet child memories. So I think cartoons is one of the signal of their sweet memory. The second question is that they could it's like I think
let's move on. Let's go to the next question. So do you think teachers should try to make their students laugh in class?
Actually, I think so. Firstly, students are occupied with many kind of classes, and they have many classes to do every day. So if they meet a teacher who is who has a sense of humor, the teacher will attract their attentions, and for students, they could concentrate on their class, and the efficiency of study will be higher. Secondly, from a point of view, this is a good way to make the distance between teachers and students become smaller, so they
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Yasmin. Thank you. Well done, Yasmin. Okay, pretty good. Especially your answer to question 2 was quite good. So well done. So you used a good phrase there. You said a teacher who has a sense of humor. Well done. That's good. So you used that correctly. And native speakers use that phrase all the time, so it's good that you know that phrase, to have a sense of humor. Well done. Let's see. In your first question, you used this phrase a couple of times. Their sweet memories and their sweet childhood memories. So we wouldn't really say that. We wouldn't say they're sweet childhood memories. We might, like if we were writing a song or writing a poem or something like that, we might say that. But if we're just having a general conversation, we wouldn't really talk about their sweet memories. We would just say, like it helps them remember their childhoods. So what, for example, watching cartoons helps them to remember their childhoods, or watching cartoons reminds them of their childhoods. That's probably what we would say. Thank you, Yasmin. Well done. Sorry, I don't have much time, so I can't talk to you much more, but thank you for your answers. And I'm going to do one more, the last student of the day. Checking one more number. The number is 6. So number 6 is somebody called Axel. Hello, Axel.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Okay. I can hear you fine. Yeah, very good. Okay,
thank you.
So your first question is, let's see. Okay, the same question that I just asked. So, should teachers try to make their students laugh in class?
Yes, I think so, because it's a good way for our children to learn things in more funny, in a more joyful way. Also, the students can feel relaxed, so they can they like to communicate with their teachers, so they can have a good communication and get more knowledge from their teachers.
Okay, and is having a sense of humor important in order to be a good leader?
I don't think so, because although a good sense of humor can create a good atmosphere among the group, among the members of in the group. But I think a good responsibility is more important than humorous, because it can give the right set good examples for its members, and can deal with its colleague, its members more.
Okay. Thank you, Axel. Thank you. Okay, Axel. All right. Okay, so those questions. So these part 3 questions, they're pretty difficult, and I think so. It was difficult for you to answer these questions, right, Axel? It was difficult for you to think of the words and to get the words to come out. Is that true?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I see. So let's talk a little bit about what you do in your study, Axel. 所以你一般来说每多久练习口语？
是这样子的，主要是最近一直在学法语，所以我的英语就嘴瓢了。
OK， 所以你以前学了英语，然后最近都没有这么练习。
对，然后大概2年都没有练英语了。
OK， 然后你打算考雅思？
对，
打算考雅思。
是的。
OK， 什么时候要考？
可能打算今年年底考一次。
OK， 所以你还有3个月左右。OK，
对。
So 然后你的目的分数是多少？
7分。
7分 ，OK，总分7分。
单科都过6。
Yeah，如果你需要总分7分，那你很可能会需要口语6分，写作口语6.5分，写作6.5分，很可能，除非你的阅读和听力超级好，所以 Excel 在接下来的3个月你要多练习口语，因为你现在的流利性就不太好，所以你从今天到你考试的那个时候，应该至少每个礼拜练习2个到3个小时口语。然后我说的练习口语，你知道我具体说的什么？你具体的应该做什么 ？Excel， 你已经知道吗？
就是再重新找回一些那些就是 collocations， 因为那些东西好多我都忘了。
No， 那也许就是词汇，那就是如何学习词汇或者提高你的词汇量的方法。如果你要练习口语，你必须跟别人说话，所以你要考雅思的话，如果你真的要考到7分，你应该多跟别人说话，因为如果你不跟别人说话，你永远不会培养你的流利性，然后你的主动词汇量也就会太低，回答这些考试第3部分的问题，所以你应该找办法每一个礼拜练习几次口语，所以你可以，我有一个口语课，你不一定要，我的口语课很贵，所以你不一定要上我的口语课，如果你上的话肯定会帮助你，但是也可以去类似 iTalk 那个网站找其他老师，但是不管怎么样，你应该找办法每一个礼拜练习你的口语，然后除了那个之外，也做很多听力，因为你的听力真的也会帮助你的口语 ，OK？ Thank
you very much. Thank you.
No problem. All right. No problem. Okay. So yeah, the questions in part 3 are different from questions in part 1. In part 1, it's all nice. Oh, do you like to watch movies? How often do you drink tea? And what time do you get up in the morning? They're simple questions about yourself. In part 3, things are different. In part 3, it's all questions about the world in general and about comparing two phenomena, or about what do old people do in your country in regards to this thing, or how do people feel about that other thing. So part 3 is challenging. In part 3, if you want to get 7, if your goal is 7, like Excel, her goal is 7, part 3 is the most important. That's the most important part, and it's the hardest part. And so you gotta practice. All right. Okay. So 那就是我们的第2个雅思口语直播，差不多2个小时，所以我以后我不打算讲这么多，然后有下课之前有3个或者4，我以前肯定有4个要提醒大家的事情，但是不知道会不会记得全部4个。第一个就是这些直播，每一个礼拜1和礼拜4，就是这个时间，北京时间7点钟举行。第2个已经记得了。第2个就是，如果你错过一个直播，我们第2天会在 YouTube 和哔哩哔哩发布这些直播的视频，所以如果你错过了下个礼拜1的，从礼拜2你就可以在哔哩哔哩或者 YouTube 看到那个视频。第3个就是我口语课，但是已经谈到了那个，所以下个礼拜的小班已经订满了，不好意思。但是如果还有一位，然后如果有很多人想订的话，我也许会开另外一个小班，然后中班还有一些位置，然后写作，如果你要考雅思口语，你肯定也要考雅思写作，我也提供一些帮助你提高雅思写作的课程，所以可以参加那些课程。然后如果你想知道我如何学习外语，我已经会4门外语，我在学习 我的第2门外语，你可以关注我微信公众号，那就是 Learn with John. Okay, thanks guys. Thanks for taking part. Thanks for all your answers. Have a good evening. Bye bye.